So Ableton might actually be winning the DAW wars now. I don't know about you guys, but the whole DAW war thing, it's a joke, all right? Use whatever software you want. As somebody who's been in an abusive relationship with Ableton for 10 plus years, I don't know exactly at this point, I'm actually excited about these new changes. They've added Splice integration. They've added stem separation. Yeah, I know. Okay, so they're basically adding the things that other DAWs have gotten way before them. The reason why I'm specifically excited about it, though, is because Ableton has a lot of other great things about it that, for the most part, you can't get in other DAWs, such as Max for Live. I guess it's just Max for Live. I mean, and then the live integration, you know, the ability to like play clips live. It's great for doing like a live show and you want to mix a bunch of your songs in there, but you want to play like loops from the songs. You know, you can craft these like massive sets with a bunch of like clips and loops and whatnot. But they've added things that have kind of caught them up to what a lot of these new DAWs have. They've added a few other things too. We'll get into it. You there. Stop. Make sure to hit the like button or you're gonna get mauled by a pack of rabid wolves. Honestly, I'd probably do it even if you aren't superstitious. You don't want to take a chance with this kind of stuff. Also, subscribe if you're new here. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. You know, let's not shoot too high though. Let's aim for 70,000. We're pretty close to that. Come on. Come on. Now listen, if you have friends, I already know most of you don't have friends. That's okay though. But if you do happen to have some, make them subscribe. If they say no, sneak onto their computer when they go to the bathroom. Anyways, thank you. Back to the video. Okay, so as you can see here, stem separation. Booyah. It took long enough. I don't know why it took them so long, but I'm not going to complain. All right, I would love to complain. I know a lot of you guys watch me to complain. I'll complain about the other things, so I'm not going to complain about this because I am so tired of like outsourcing my stem separation to another program and bringing it back into Ableton. FL who? Yeah, exactly. FL? Oh, it has L in the name? So does Ableton, but whatever. So it has a built-in stem separation that runs locally. A song can be separated into 4 stems: vocals, drums, bass, and other. So it's basically like most other stem splitters. It's not like a super advanced one, it seems like. The question is like, what is the quality like on it? You know, are we getting like a more updated new algorithm? So you click on a sample in the browser and then go to separate stems to new audio tracks. And then they're rendered onto their own track into a group track. And any audio effects from the source track are also added to the group track. Then they have an option that you can add into the text file, the options text file, to increase the quality. So if you want high quality stem separation, I don't know why it wouldn't already be high quality unless it takes a lot of time. I'm assuming it takes a lot longer. And they note that stem separation may run very slowly on older Windows systems. Almost everything runs slowly on older Windows systems, so that's not really a surprise. Okay, next we're talking Splice integration. Now, I'm actually a little bit excited about this because I've been using Splice more and more lately. You want to know what really made me want to start using Splice? The fact people are just using AI to generate songs. I was like, okay, if people are cutting corners to this degree, where they're just AI generating a fucking song or a stem, I might as well start using Splice loops. And well, I mean, I've been using the Splice like kick and snare samples or whatever, but sometimes I'll just use melody loops on there and cut them up and like mix them with something else or add my own thing to it. There's just no reason not to at this point. You know, if we're competing with generative AI, I think we need to use everything we can at this point. So it's not integrated directly into Live's browser. Anyone with a free or paid Splice account can access their library. I don't know what a free Splice account, I didn't even know they had that. Is that a thing? So in addition to searching for samples, you can have Splice find samples that would fit with existing material in your set. Not a big fan of this. You know, yeah, I understand like, ooh, we can cut corners even more, but I just don't like the computer making the decisions that we should be making. You know, maybe it can give you an idea. Some people are creatively bankrupt, so, you know, good for them. Okay, so anyways, if you want to do this creatively bankrupt shit, you can make a clip or time selection within the session arrangement view, then click the search with the sound widget in the home tab of the Splice label. That is a weird ass sentence. Splice will automatically find and display complementary samples based on the style and rhythm of the selection. So we're gonna try out all this stuff in this video here, because I didn't know this. There's non-subscription accounts which offer around 2,500 free samples. That shit is either gonna suck or it's gonna be used to the point where there's no point in it. This guy's such a complainer. All he does is fucking complain. AutoPan now features an updated interface. There's dedicated modes for panning and tremolo effects. So it's been renamed AutoPan-Tremolo. So there are 2 modes now available, panning and tremolo. Panning modulates the placement of the source sound in the stereo panorama. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff, it's not really that important. You know, it's just a bunch of fucking little tech shit about it, whatever. Now, this is a really good feature. They've needed to add this for so long. Bounce group tracks. So it's now possible to bounce group tracks via 2 commands. Bounce group to new track and bounce group in place. Bro. Oh my God. Thank you, Jesus. We needed this. We needed this. Pace bounced audio. Okay, so from what I understand here, before even bouncing the audio, you can copy from a MIDI track and just paste the bounced audio. I guess it's a way to like save time if you don't want to completely bounce the track and you just want to bounce one little section of it real quickly. I'm sure there are use cases for this. Device A-B comparison. Apparently with Ableton's devices, you can now switch between A and B. So if you have two different states of the same device, for instance, you have two different EQ changes you're considering going between, you can switch back and forth between them and figure out which one you like the most. And another option would be to switch it back to default, like if you're trying to compare it to default. Okay, there's a bunch of other small changes here too. I'm not going to go through all that though. Let's actually get into the DAW and see how this works. Here is a song I've started recently. It is unmixed for the most part. I'm going to test out the stem splitting, I guess. I'll give you guys a listen before we stem split it. Okay, so you just right click here and separate stems to new audio tracks. Okay, pretty simple stuff here. We're not gonna do the high quality. Maybe I'll show that at some other time. Let's just see what the low quality is or whatever.
2 hours later.
Okay, first thought here. This takes a while. I know some stem splitters do. Maybe this is a great algorithm, so maybe that's why. I don't even have it on the high quality. So I'm kind of glad I didn't switch it to the high quality. But I mean, I have like a pretty decent system. It's a few years old at this point. Like it's not the greatest CPU anymore, but I got 64 gigs of RAM for video editing. It's not for any other reason. Got a pretty good graphics card. But yeah, I thought it would be faster than this. So let me just say, this is really raising my expectations here. Because like in terms of workflow, I don't know how much this is going to speed up your workflow. Just to clarify, this is taking at least 5 minutes so far. This is probably the slowest stem splitting I've ever seen. Maybe it's because this is in beta still. My expectations are like through the roof right now. This better be really good.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, yay, it's finally done. Woo. Okay, let's hear it. Okay, so my first question is, which vocals did it separate? There's like a main vocal, and then there's also these like background like choir vocals. There might even be two of them. I'm not 100% certain, but let's hear here. Okay, so it's completely missed a few things here. Granted, these are pretty experimental vocals. I may not register these. So I probably, honestly, I probably should have picked like a major label mainstream release song. Sorry, though, we can't do that. I can't get copyright butt fucked again. Let's look at the drums. So overall, the drums, pretty fucking clean. It did randomly pick up a bass note there, which was really strange. This is one of the strangest stem splitters I've ever come across. Because in terms of quality, it did a good job with the drums, but I just don't understand why it's picking up these random notes and losing these random notes. I've never seen a stem splitter do that before. Maybe it's because it's in beta, though. That's my thought process. Bass looks like it might be clean here. Let's hear it. So that's not bad. It's kind of hard to really tell how good this part came out because I did use some sidechain from the kick onto it. And also in general, Reese spaces are usually kind of phasey, or the volume kind of fluctuates a bit unless you like do it really proper, unless you make it really proper. And this was a preset. So, I didn't really check for any sort of like the phase shit yet. This is all like kind of a new project. So far I would say the bass is okay. I would say it's okay. Now we're gonna do other, so everything else here. So there should be a bunch of shit in here. Now, I don't want to bore you with trying this on a bunch of songs in this video, but at least with this song right here, which is not like the greatest mixed song, there's not a ton of separation, and it's also kind of experimental with like the textures it's using. It didn't do a great job separating the different instruments. It did a good job with the drums and the bass though, for sure. But the fact I guess the vocals were maybe really confusing to it if I had to guess. I'm a little in the middle with this. I would really have to test it out with more material to see how good this is. And that's not really the purpose of this video. We're just kind of checking it out, So I guess from here, I'm going to test out the Splice integration feature. And that's probably the only other thing I really want to test out in this. Okay, so you click Splice, and then it opens up a very tiny window. So the first thing I'm curious about here is, will it automatically sync to the BPM? I'm just going to mute the melody stuff and vocal stuff. We're just going to add some stuff, basically. You know, I'm not going to use this. Just a little test here, because the song, in my opinion, is already like mostly finished. There's nothing I really want to add to it, you know. So one issue I'm already kind of noticing here is this Splice window is so small. Like, Splice is kind of not something that should really fit into this browser window. Like, this is too tiny. That's what she said. So first thing I'm noticing here that's good, it syncs to the BPM. You can sync to the key. It automatically syncs to the BPM. I don't know why you wouldn't want that. Okay, let's see what we can add here. How difficult is it to add stuff? Oh, that is annoying. So one thing I'm noticing that's kind of cool about this here is it automatically will transpose and sync the BPM when you drag it in, which that is one advantage over actually using the Splice window and not the Splice integration. So there's like a way to have it automatically add shit. Let's see what it finds. Let's find out. Is it cooking? I mean, huge L here already. It's playing shit that's not in the right key. It selected a bunch of shit not in the right key, and it had it set to not transpose. What's good about this is it's making it more difficult for people to just, you at least have to have some semblance of like knowledge to at least work with this. Okay, my thoughts on that there. This makes AI look like a good alternative to this. This makes it looking like writing your own music is a good alternative to this. This function here is absolute dog shit ass, awful lobster, dookie, dumb fuck, non-critical thinking. Where is your brain shit? Like, this thing sucks so bad. This like search with sound thing, at least based on this one attempt I just did with it. And I wasn't really expecting much, but I was at least expecting it to lock the key or something. I don't know. You know, maybe it's me. You know, maybe it's me. It's probably not, though. Okay, guys, that is it for this video. Checking out Ableton Live 12. Is Ableton winning the DAW wars? That's honestly just a catchy title. Are they really? It's pretty good. I'm glad they added this. God, it's hard to even get excited about the stem separation. It takes so long. Might be faster just to render it and then like put it in a different fucking application. All right, anyways, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. If you want to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon or becoming a channel member. You get access to literal exclusive content, outtakes, and other goodies. And also, if you want to support another way, consider buying something via the Plugin Boutique or Tommen. Affiliate links in the description. A great way to support the channel. Buy something you want, and I get kickback at no extra cost to you. I'll see you guys next time.